Hello, everyone. Good afternoon and welcome to our webinar. Today, we'll be diving deep into the use of Microsoft 365 Copilot and how it can help to reinvent factory operations and office workflows for your enterprise. My name is Abhishek, and I'm the VP of Technology here at Saxon. Very quickly about who we are. Saxon, we have been in the industry for more than 20 plus years, and we have been working with our customers globally across multiple different technologies as well as multiple different markets. In terms of the work that we are currently doing very closely along with Microsoft, we are a Microsoft Copilot Jumpstart partner, and we have several AI designations and competencies within the Microsoft ecosystem. We work with our customers very closely to help them realize the value of the AI stack, especially with Copilot, Copilot Studio, and other integrations and extensions. We have won several awards with Microsoft. We have also been doing a lot of work in the space of building AI agents and extensions that help deliver enterprise value with the Copilot stack. In today's webinar, I am joined here with my dear friend from Microsoft, Ramchandran Iyer. Ram brings a lot of deep expertise in applying AI and transformation to the customers with the help of the AI stack as well as with the help of Copilot. He plays a pivotal role in guiding our customers as well as partners like us on how to use these emerging technologies to redefine various operations across various industries, especially manufacturing, and how Copilot can add a lot of value. With that, I invite Ram to on the stage and present his part of the webinar. Ram, over to you.
Thanks, Abhishek, and thanks to Saxon AI team for having me here. While I bring up my screen, I just wanted to check with all of you how many of you have used Copilot for work. Okay, you can either react or you can go ahead and put it on chat, right? Uh, don't use the hands up. I think hands up means you have questions, so we'll keep that icon there. But then you can go ahead and put reactions and chat. So yeah, so Copilot has been there for a while now, and we are seeing a lot of traction from both the sides. We are seeing customers are ways of using Copilot for their work, and at the same time, we're also seeing that the product is evolving, as time goes. So, uh, just a second, sorry, one second. Let me just, okay, cool. Yeah. So let me just bring up my screen. I hope you all can see it. So, like we said, so my name is Ram. Abhishek has introduced me. I'm working with a lot of manufacturing customers based out of Mumbai here in the West, and it's been a journey. So I have seen Copilot move. One second. So we've seen different challenges for different types of customers, right? Not everybody has the appetite to really invest heavily on AI and try it out. So we've seen some challenges, and that's what I brought to you in a single slide. We're seeing decision makers trying to make sense out of Copilot and how do we use AI, not just Copilot, any AI in any shape and form, to bring a real impact for our workflow. IT is always under pressure because IT is wondering if our network, our infrastructure really supports the transformation, especially with the speed at which AI is evolving. Do we have the necessary tools, right? Same way, security. I think cyber is another place where we do have a lot of interactions when it comes to how secure is AI. How do I know who are the people who are using Gen AI inside my organization? Are we certified with certain regulations? So we see a lot of such questions also come through. End users, we've seen that, especially in organizations, if the organization has not provided them with an AI or a Gen AI tool, or if they've already got used to certain Gen AI tool from their personal side of life, they tend to bring it into work. And we've seen a lot of organizations have challenges around this, and we've been in active discussion on how do we have some observability into it, or how do we block it, right? And the functional leaders, again, the market is competitive. We all are trying to rapidly innovate and grow. So functional leaders come from that side to see how do we improve the productivity efficiency on that side, right? So there are different thoughts when companies are thinking AI. And that's where I wanted to talk about Copilot. Microsoft Copilot was announced almost 2 years ago. We've had capabilities that came in eventually through Outlook. We could do certain things on Teams, on Word, on Excel. We've got our feedbacks from different customers. We have evolved all the way. And today, the product is very different from what it was 2 years ago, right? We have two flavors. So we have the Copilot chat. I'll just bring out my laser pointer. We have the Copilot chat, which is actually available kind of free as a part of your O365 and M365 licenses. So if you're an organization, or if you're part of an organization that's actually having our O365 E1, E3, M365, E3, or even on the M365 business plans, you will actually get a flavor of Copilot, which is available to all the employees. I will talk about what that entails, but that is a free version that is available. Microsoft has given you GPT-5 access on that as well, right? So it's running on the latest LLMs, even when it's part of that license. We have recently announced that that particular Copilot would be getting additional features in future. So that is something, but feel free to reach out to any of our Saxon AI, Microsoft, your Microsoft counterparts, if you would want to get the free chat enabled. And then comes the paid license. The paid license, what we have recently announced is that the Work IQ. So Copilot understands the way you work. Copilot understands the data you work on, and we also understand the way you interpret the data, right, and whom you collaborated with. So we bring that as a part of the paid license, where Copilot license connects with all your SharePoint, Teams, OneDrive. It understands whom you talk to, what do you do with certain data, and it also now has started suggesting what should be the next prompt, or which should be the agent you should use. So it has started becoming more of a suggestive based on the learning it has had. It does have memory capability, so it understands if you have certain type of response you expect from it, or if you play a certain role in your company and you want it to answer as per your role, right? And at the same time, the license is no more connected just for the core apps. We also have brought in agents as a part of the paid version. So what that means is what we'll cover as we go forward, right? Um, One of the biggest uh, sales point, or if you think of it from a user perspective, is we have a single app of M365 Copilot. You can actually search it for it on your desktop. You will also be able to go to m365.cloud.microsoft. That's the URL, and you should be able to look at this particular UI. It has got five important things. The first one is chat. So chat is, be it work or web, you will be able to do it. Again, it depends on the type of, either you're on the free version or the paid. Search is an enterprise search, that is searching within the knowledge and the files that's part of your organization. Agents, we will talk about it a little more in detail as we move forward. Create is all about creating images, infographics, videos, posters, banners. In manufacturing, we have seen create pick up a lot when you want to create a simple banner that you need to paste inside a factory that says "Do not smoke here," and you have to be creative there. So we've seen a lot of companies who talk about how they have stopped spending those 15,000, 20,000 rupees in just getting those new banners and posters created for these use cases. And at least even if we have to go to the vendor to get those printed or designed, Create gives you the capability to come with the first cut draft and then take it to the next level with a professional help, right? So Create is a good use case we are seeing when it comes to manufacturing. Notebooks again has its own good use cases, and Notebooks again is evolving a lot. We can now add your, if you are working on a particular project, or we have seen use cases where if a senior leader in your organization is meeting, say, a partner of your company or a dealer in certain companies, dealer's executive, a notebook is where the business team can actually kind of dump all the data they have about that particular engagement. And notebook is from where you can actually ask questions to this notebook, and AI will answer only based on the knowledge that is there within this notebook, right? So it's like a digital diary with an AI on top of it, so you don't have to go through all the pages inside the notebook. So yeah, so these are the five things that are there. And today's workshop, we will talk about agents more, and we have some cool, exciting stuff ahead in this session, right? So like I said, Copilot for personal productivity, we do have a lot of integrations and work IQ that has come in the paid. But now we'll talk about agents, right? So what are agents? A lot of companies actually think about agents and they wonder what are agents and how do I start off with an agent, right? So agent is nothing but, think of it this way, the most fundamental agent is what you do today on a consumer side is you ask questions, and the AI, Gen AI, is actually looking at the internet and then giving you responses. When you think from a work standpoint, the most fundamental agent that you can create is something called retrieval. So retrieval is where you can actually create, and in a version you can actually have a SharePoint site, right? A SharePoint site with a lot of data, which is respect to maybe all resumes, if it's an HR, or if you have a lot of vendor quotes coming in, it is there. Or if you have a lot of RFPs that you've responded to, you can have it there. You can have a lot of technical specifications when if it is some machinery and SOPs that are there for safety. So think of it like a repository that you create, which we call knowledge. And then the agent is basically an interface, a UI that you give the end user to ask questions and not have to go and learn or go through a lot of document to find out the answer they want. It also, it's an interface through which it's like a internal AI agent which can give you responses in the way you ask the question, so it's natural language. And it can also refer multiple documents and then help you with a summary of response, right? So that's the beauty of a retrieval agent, and it's very quick to build. A lot of companies begin with this retrieval agent. It could be SOPs. We've seen factories where the company's IT has actually created a similar repository. The repository could be on Azure, it could be inside SharePoint, and you can simply connect that, create an agent, give it a name, and give it to the factory workers, right, or the people who are working in the factory. And for them, it becomes very simple because they don't have to go through hundreds and 200 pages of SOPs or manuals to understand how to operate a machine. They can actually go and ask a question and it will respond. The second one is task based. So in task based, you will basically be able to tell the Gen AI flow that if you reach a certain point in the process, you have to come to me for an approval, take my approval, and then get back into the flow, right? So we can create those type of agents. And the autonomous is in the retrieval and task, more major agents are human initiated, where the end user or employee has to ask a question or trigger it through some way. In autonomous, you can make it automatic where there's no human intervention. A mail comes in with an invoice, or mail comes in with a vendor quote, and you want the AI to read that email, pick up the attachment, understand what's the contents, and then take it forward as a process. So that's completely autonomous, where there's no human triggers required, right? So different levels of complexities, as I said. And we are there, Microsoft is there, your partners are there, our partners are there. We all can ensure we understand the use cases and help you on this journey. So the way we have in Microsoft started helping customers with agents is by in launching something called first party agents as a part of the paid license. So we have many agents that are available today in the paid version. So any of you there, if you have a Copilot paid license, you should be able to see the researcher and analyst already. I think even surveys now, you should see it already. Researcher is great with detailed reasoning, creating 30, 40 page report on certain topic. We've seen use cases like compete analysis. We've seen use cases like creating policy for the organization on something, for example, data governance strategy. If an IT person is thinking of data governance, DPDP Act, very new. I'm just giving you ideas that's coming on top of my mind. You can consider think of DPDP and your industry of your organization and probably ask researcher agent on can it create a data governance policy for you considering both these aspects, right? A simple example as that. Analyst works on structured data. So if you have any SQL tables, if you have Excel, if you have PDF with tables embedded inside that particular PDF file, analyst works on those structured data and helps you with a lot of, it gives you a lot of insights. It also uses Python to do a lot of visualization. So if you plan to build visualizations on that, you get it. Surveys helps you create surveys, analyze surveys. So it's a pretty straightforward there, and so on and so forth, right? So there's a lot of other agents there, but the point is that to begin as a company, we have been rolling out a lot of agents. But and while we do that, we have recently just witnessed Ignite 2025. We've had a lot of announcements there. Some of them are here. I just marked my personal favorites in yellow, which is Work IQ. We just spoke about it. Agent Builder, how Gen AI can actually help you create apps and agents quickly, and the Agent 365, which is more from a observability and management layer when it comes to agents in your organization. But yeah, if you are interested, we have something called the Microsoft Ignite 2025 Book of News. Feel free to go to the internet and get it, and you will find all the details. Right. So once that is done, we have a vision of having a single architecture when it comes to end, having the data and the intelligence through various stacks of Microsoft, having the agent factory where you can build those agents, and then Agent 365 that sits on top of it to monitor, observe, look at the cyber posture, DLP, so on and so forth through Agent 365. So what does it mean for manufacturing industry? We have this slide as a part of our scenario library, which is again a public document. I think Saxon AI team will reach out to you with the details and contents later, but it talks about a lot of various functions inside a manufacturing company, and it talks about a lot of KPIs that are there and how you can think of this like maybe if you want to start somewhere and if you relate to any of these KPI metrics or any of these departments, and if you feel that there is a pain point or maybe there's something we could do better with Gen AI, I think this will help you look at those. Get those ideas and reach out to your partners and see how you can proceed from there to build from simple pilots to taking agents to production, right? But yeah, we have had a lot of companies who've already begun this journey, and some of them have. It's a mixed market, but we're seeing some common use cases, things like quality. We're seeing HR having a lot of JD creations, CV summarizations. I spoke about the SOPs that are there, RFPs, if you're procurement or if you're from a bidding team who's trying to complete an RFP, or even for that matter, release an RFP, and you have a template in your organization with certain legal terms which has to be part of RFP. Copilot can actually refer to those templates and help you create new documents as well, right? So we do have a lot of such use cases, and there are many more which companies are doing day-to-day basis. How do you begin is where from Microsoft as a solution, you can start with the paid license and the first party agents. We have created some templates like finance, employee self-service, where this could be a common. This is another use case where HR and IT FAQ for employees, and this can hook onto your ITMS or an HRMS, providing the users a single interface, right? And if you feel that you've exhausted both of these and you want to build something of your own, we have the entire stack in which you can build your own agents. We have a large partner ecosystem as Microsoft, and we also have them working with us. We are working with them to ensure that we have ready-made agents or connectors in some form available for our customers, so that Copilot and Copilot Studio, which is our agent building platform, provides our customers with a single platform where they can bring in their enterprise applications and build agents, right? We do have, I'll quickly go here, is just from a manageability perspective, when you build these agents through all these solutions, we do have an agent store where you can publish these agents that you've built as an organization to your peers within the company. So say if, for example, a sales team in some side has actually built an agent which is doing well, and you want to ensure the sales agent gets extended to another team or another department, same way IT has created an agent which you wanted to go to another department, we have created an agent store. Even the partner connectors will now be available in the agent store. Same, we have Copilot control system. Control system will help you with security, controls, reporting on who's using, how much is being used, so on and so forth. Sorry, I'm not seeing the chat screen and the Q&A, but if you have questions, please feel free to put it in the Q&A, and we will come back to you after this. Copilot Analytics is another thing that has been an ask, and we have been improving this ever further. It goes into things like what is the AI adoption within a specific app? Who are the top users of your organization? You can also upload data related to users who don't have a Copilot paid license, and it will give you a comparison of how does that work. So it helps with a lot of assessment and analysis on how Gen AI is actually helping you as an organization. So with that, I just my last topic is about Microsoft's talking about becoming a frontier firm. We've actually defined this term called frontier firm. A QR code is available. If you scan it, you will get to the document which talks about it. But yeah, if once we share it with you, it'll be with you. So just to explain it in a very, very high level, we are looking at assistants and humans working together, where assistants are helping humans. Very soon, we work as a team with assistants, and we will very soon see that humans lead it, kind of become the managers, and the agents actually work as employees, digital employees, along with the humans, right? So the time is now. Um, how do you, just to summarize, please enable the Copilot chat, which is freely available for as part of your O365 users, bringing in a culture of Gen AI for the users, and ensuring that they don't use any unmanaged Gen AI tools from the market where the IT does not have visibility. Define the core team that's going to work on ideation and kind of leading this AI within the organization. Prioritize agents, build POCs, and once you've succeeded with that, you should see how you can take it to production and work with us. With that, I think let's move to what Saxon AI has to show us in terms of what is their experience with Copilot, and maybe they also have a demo. So let's move to that. Abhishek, are you there?
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Ram. That was very insightful. It's great to know that organizations can get started with the Copilot chat, which is the free version. Get that all organized in terms of governance for all of their AI needs, and then sort of go up that value chain. Great. So, as Ram was explaining, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. We will be taking probably the last 10 minutes of our webinar today to go over those questions, and we'll try and answer as many as we possibly can. So I'll go ahead and share my screen here to talk a little bit about, what is it that we are doing with AI agents and with Copilot. So just give me a moment. Okay. Okay, so I hope everybody can see my screen. So, in terms of making Copilot enterprise ready, what you can do is you can leverage the out-of-box models which are available, as well as the set of agents which are available within the Copilot stack. You can also make use of the free version of Copilot, which is available. And you can also bring in, let us say, subsequently data from many different sources. For example, let us say you want to bring data from your ERP systems or from your CRM systems, etc. All of those can be brought in to enhance the overall experience that your users can get with the help of Copilot. I just want to revisit this particular slide that Ram just presented a while back. So, which shows, what's available for you. Of course, there's the free version wherein it's quite powerful and it can do a lot of things. And we would, in case if you're not using it today, we should probably go ahead and enable it. And we'll show you and I'll briefly show you the power of that in a few minutes. But then there's also, the paid one, which can work along with your work data, and it can help you to do a lot more things, become more productive with your day-to-day work and other activities. So with that, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and jump right into the demo. So I hope you can all see my screen. Let me just, bring more focus on the content here. Okay. Great. So what you're seeing here is the Copilot experience, and you can see that I have got the web experience as well as the work. So I wanted to get started and show you a couple of scenarios that you can try right away. So let me go ahead and showcase a couple of examples here. So let us say I'm currently on the web, which is essentially the free version, and I want to go ahead and let us say summarize uh, the key best practices for product design. Product design using AI in manufacturing. So let us say, I'm looking at, creating some sort of either a presentation, or I need some information on what are some of the best practices that I can use within AI and manufacturing. I can go ahead and ask. So what it is doing is it is relying on web search. It is going and bringing the relevant information from the web, and it is bringing this information in a clear and concise manner. I can also ask few other questions, maybe a follow-up one, or I can ask it to, let's say, summarize the recent research that has happened in the space of AI for manufacturing. So I want to go ahead and see what have been the recent researches in this space. So what Copilot is doing is, as you can see, it is doing a search of the recent research and trends for the last 2-3 years, and it is bringing information like digital twins, predictive maintenance, and quality control, and also pointing me to the right direction of various industry relevant reports which it has used in order to generate this response. And it can also go ahead and help us to summarize this further. So this was fine. This was with respect to what the free version can do. But let's say I want to do something more. I want to bring in my work data. So let me switch to the work tab. So here I can show you what we can do more with, let's say, the help of the paid version of Copilot that Ram was mentioning. So let's say I'm writing a proposal for one of my customers. They are a manufacturing client, and I would like to see what are some of the recent agents that we at Saxon have deployed using Copilot. So I want to say, show me the recent manufacturing agents deployed using Copilot. So what this will do is this will go ahead and search all of my enterprise data. It will look through all of my proposals, my case studies, and any other project related information that I have. And it says that it has found 18 relevant items across all the information. So we are doing a lot of work on smart SAP agents, document intelligence agents, factory operations, so on and so forth. In fact, in another 5 minutes, I'll show you a few demos of these agents integrated with SAP as well as factory data as we move up the value chain of Copilot. So here are a few examples of the work. It is also showing me the various documents where it has fetched this information from. Uh, Now let me go ahead and also ask it if I can get a few, prompts when it comes to manufacturing. So let's say, find me 10 Copilot prompts for manufacturing, daily use. So, of course, there must be a lot of case studies and articles that we have written in this particular space, and so it's searching through all of that, uh, and bringing that information for me. Okay, so it is saying here are the different prompts like draft a shift summary, simplify documentation, it's also bringing create an incident report and so on. In fact, we actually have published an ebook on manufacturing, AI in manufacturing, including more than 100 prompts that you can start using right away. And we will also offer that as a part of the downloadable content that we have as a part of this webinar. So this was great. I was able to use the web content as well as my work content. Now let me show you an example of a custom agent. So let me go ahead and create a new chat. And what I'm going to do is um, we have built an agent which integrates with Copilot as well as all of my enterprise data and information. It's called the AI Assist agent. And let me surface the AI Assist agent within my Copilot and start interacting with it. I'm going to ask the question, what can you do? And as you know that, every agent that we build, as a best practice is able to respond to this question. So here it says that, hey, I am AI Assist, and this agent can support me across multiple different functions. This is what I spoke of, earlier, saying that agents can help us across, let's say, functions like operations, finance, SAP, factory, so on and so forth. So let me start asking. So let's say that I'm a factory manager, or let's say I'm doing some sort of production planning as the head of supply chain, and I wanted to know what are the top products that were ordered. So let me ask this question to the agent. I'll say uh, top 10 products ordered in the last 3 months. Okay. So I want to find out what are the top products that our customers have ordered in the last 3 months. And then on the basis of that, I just want to do a little bit of planning in terms of, let's say, my production as well as raw material, etc. So it says that in the last 3 months, here are the top products that were ordered by our customers. It is showing the material code, material description, status of the order, whether it is in transit, delivered, or whether it's an open order, the dates on which it was ordered, and the overall value. Not only that, it is showing me when was the last time this data was synchronized from my ERP systems, and it is generating AI insights in order to showcase what were some of the high level, what were some of the top orders which were curated or generated during this time. So it says that high temp valve and control panel are leading in value and volume. Okay. So let's say that I want to know more information about this. So let's say that I want to know more about the high temp valve and control panel. So let me say, show me detailed part and supplier info for the high temp valve. So I'm just going to copy that from here and I say for the high temp valve. So as a part of my production planning, I want to order all of the relevant raw materials. And I know that this is one of my most ordered products from the last 3 months. And so I want to plan ahead. So here it says that, okay, this is the material number. And these are the suppliers which I can use in order to get all of these parts in place. Now, once that I have this information, I can possibly, start the coordination with my various plants as well as with the supplier. As a part of the plant data, switching roles, because the agent is also connected to the factory data, which is streaming from various IoT sensors directly into the Azure cloud. And then I can ask questions, with respect to those. So let me ask a question on what is the current OEE, operational efficiency. So I can say, what is the current OEE and any downtime? Okay, I want to know whether there was any downtime on any of my manufacturing lines, on any of my briefing lines. So it says that my current OEE is at around 79%. There was a 38-minute downtime on feeder L4. So let's say I want to drill down into this particular issue that occurred. And again, this information is something which you can stream in real time and then ask a query with the help of the agents, or you can have it in the form of a daily report which gets generated and sent to you as a part of a scheduled job. Okay. So let's say I want to know what's the likely cause of this feeder jam. What is the likely cause of this feeder jam? And based on the data that it has, maybe in terms of any engineer notes or the factory manager notes, along with any other detailed information that it might be able to gather based on past historical data, it is coming back with an analysis. It is saying a thin gauge stock was used from a particular supplier, and it is also saying what can be done to improve this. So this is just an example of how you can not just get info actionable insights about your planning, but you can also take real-time corrective actions and preventive actions on things which are happening within the factory floor or any other part of the organization. So let us say that as a part of this, I would like to visit the factory, and I want more information about, let's say, where these factories are located, and where are all the any other policies, HR and travel policies with respect to factory visits. So I want to plan for a factory visit. So let's say that I want to plan for a factory visit, and please show me the travel and reimbursement policy for it. Okay. And you can also see that, I'm typing, even though there are a few spelling mistakes here and there, Copilot is pretty resilient in terms of, understanding my request. And what it is doing is it is showing me all of the policy information. It's also proposing that it can also go ahead and raise a travel request for me. It is showing me all of my allowed allowances, so on and so forth. And I can go ahead and either go ahead with the booking process, or I can go ahead and ask additional information to it. So here you saw an example of how we went from asking simple questions which could get information from web data. I was able to use all of my organizational data, and then with the help of this um, custom agent which is connected to my SAP and other systems, I was able to get information about uh, all of the different parameters that I need for my planning as well as for executing the day-to-day operations. So with that, I would like to once again invite on stage Ram, and let's take a look at any questions that we have, and we will go ahead and help answer those as well. So let's see. Uh, okay, we do have a few questions here in the chat. So we will take up those questions, one by one. So let's see. So there's a question, Ram, probably this is for you. A person with Copilot 365 license created agents, and can non-licensed users access that particular agent? So I think the question is, let's say an agent is created, can I have non-licensed users access that custom particular agent?
Yeah, slightly long answer would be, so the answer is yes, it depends on what agent it is. If it is an agent that's built on web data, so the free user also will be allowed to use that particular agent. But if the agent is built on something which is on the company work data, which is like a SharePoint site and all, for the free users, we will need to enable the PayG. So we have a model of pay as you go for the non-paid version, non-paid users to use those agents.
Okay, okay, great. Thank you. And I think it is important to understand that, there's so much that can be done with the free licenses as well, as we have demonstrated here today. And then bringing the agents that we have is just going to add on to the set of functionality that we can achieve with Copilot. And sometimes it might so happen that, just to add on to what Ram said, sometimes you may want to enable certain agents for certain designation or certain levels of users. So let us say, your plant heads or supply chain managers, and they can leverage it to see their data at a much faster pace. And then you can use some of the traditional ways of still delivering reports and dashboards via Power Platform or via Power BI to the rest of the organization. So those traditional ways of disseminating information are always available for you. Okay, so we have another question which says, can we enable third-party MCS in Copilot? I think third-party agents like Zoho for creating IT help desk tickets directly through chat.
Yeah,
So
so
if you
that's a
want
very
to take
common use case. I think employee self-service was one of the agents we spoke about, which is a first-party template that's available on Copilot Studio. You can hook it into an ITMS or a particular HRMS. We do have some connectors available out of the box. Like I know, for example, a ServiceNow or a Success Factor might be something that we do out of the box. But if you're looking at a Zoho Manage Engine or any other solution, you can go and check if we do have connectors. If there aren't, we have solutions where you can bring in APIs and build those agents with APIs, right? Now, recently, we've also support MCP and A2A. So those are the new compatible methods through which you can also bring in agents. We obviously also have the M365 SDK toolkit, Copilot. So you can actually publish those agents into the Copilot UI as well. So multiple methods. I think you should reach out to your partner and have that discussion before you take the next step if you don't find the connector out of the box.
sounds great. And to add on to what Ram said, there are a lot of connectors that are already available. You can connect with those. But let's say if you're running something on-prem, we have a lot of customers, they have legacy applications which are running on-premise, or there is something which is running, within each of the factory networks, and you might want to connect to that and fetch some data from there or do some sort of an integration. So you can always have a custom connector that partners like Saxon can develop for you, and we can bring that information also within your Copilot agent and make it available for your users. Okay. There are, I think, a couple of more questions. There's a question on, can we have offline sessions to increase the adoption of Copilot chat? So yeah, I think I can take that up. We would love to have offline sessions for you and for your organization. In fact, we are offering two 2 hour Copilot workshop as a part of this. We are also offering you a manufacturing pack with the help of an ebook with more than 100 plus prompts. Let me quickly bring that up as well here. So you can scan that QR code for the workshop. And we are also going to drop a quick feedback for our session in the chat. So Sai, if you could please put that in the chat. For everyone who goes ahead and gives us feedback, honest, truthful feedback about our session and what you found helpful in terms of the different use cases that you saw, we will be going ahead and emailing you across the Copilot in Manufacturing ebook right away. And at the same time, folks who go ahead and register for the Copilot Discovery Workshop, we will curate and customize a workshop specifically for your users, for your personas within your organization, and we will come and deliver it for you. We'll make sure that all of your use cases which are specific and add value to your organizations are covered as a part of that. So I think the form link has been pasted. So if you can kindly click on that, we'll give you a few minutes to fill the form. But in the meanwhile, if there are any more questions, please put those questions in the chat so that we can go ahead and take those up as well. Okay, looks like there are a few more questions in the Q&A tab. I'm just going to switch there and take a look at it. So will Copilot also support file comparison use cases? I think that's a great question. Ram, do you want to maybe answer that?
Oh, absolutely. We've also seen the free Copilot users use this capability because the beauty of using Copilot is it's an enterprise product with we secure it with something called enterprise data protection. So when you compare files or you even upload files into Copilot, it actually goes back to your OneDrive. So that's the beauty, and you can compare multiple files with the free version. Obviously, with the paid, it is supported. Um, the next question, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a question. What can be the future of AI agents in manufacturing? I think there's a lot that we have already covered in our ebook. So, once you put that feedback, we'll go ahead and send it across. But I think the short answer is, AI agents are changing the way we work, not just in manufacturing, but also in the office for small companies, right to the largest of Fortune 500. And that's the future that we are seeing with AI agents in manufacturing. In fact, there is a whole section on the different use case scenarios that are available for manufacturing using Copilot on the Microsoft side, and we'll be sharing that with you as a part of the post-session information. Ram, do you want to add something specifically for the manufacturing agents?
I think as Microsoft, we do Work Trend Index and many other surveys across the globe. Um, I had mentioned about the frontier firm. So whoever asked this question, feel free to go and understand what Microsoft frontier firm definition is and how we look at the future of work with AI.
Great, thank you. And I'm sure you would have downloaded there's the QR code that Ram had given. We will share that as also with you. So there's another question here which says, do we need a Copilot license to build an agent? You want to answer that, Ram?
Um, do you, sorry,
Do
what
you
was the
need a
question?
Copilot? Do you need a Copilot? I think they're asking, do you need a Copilot Studio license to build an agent? I guess.
So we do have a Copilot Studio developer license, but it's actually it comes as a part of the Copilot. So if you have Copilot licenses in your environment, you can go ahead and purchase that. It's $0 as per me, and you should be able to use that to develop agents. If you're a paid Copilot user, then there is so the agent building is free. Let me put it this way on Copilot Studio. We do have a version called Copilot Studio Lite, which the users will see a create agent option inside the Copilot app. That particular, if you're a paid Copilot user, there's no charge for that, right?
Okay, that's great. In fact, we are seeing a lot of customers who are using the Copilot Studio Lite version to create agents grounded on web data. And I think those can be used within the free version of Copilot as well, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, that's great. Excellent. So I think we'll probably have time for maybe 2 to 3 more questions. Um, let's see. Um, Is Copilot chat available for all M365 and O365 users, or is it only for M365 users? I believe that referring to the Copilot free chat, whether it's available for all the users or not. Yeah.
So just to answer on both the sides, the free and the paid, they work on O365 licenses as well as M365 licenses.
Okay, that's great. Excellent. There's another question. Will Copilot Studio Agent support language? I think it's saying support multiple languages. And can it connect to Azure services and functions? I think that's a good deep developer question, Ram. Do you want to maybe simplify it for our
Yes, yes. So the answer is yes. You can bring in Azure functions into Copilot Studio when you're building agents. In fact, we also support, while language was one question, and we've seen Azure AI Search is another capability that gets pulled in. We also have now provided an option where the a person building the Copilot Studio agent can actually bring their own LLM from Foundry, right? Or Azure OpenAI. Azure OpenAI is one of it, but there are so many other LLMs available on Foundry and Azure platform. You can actually look at a Grok, Mistral. You can actually, we've also brought in Anthropy now, so that's also available. So if you don't find a particular LLM version natively inside Copilot Studio, but you want to bring something from Azure, you can also bring your own LLM.
That's great. And just to add on to what Ram just mentioned, the demo that we showed here, especially the last couple of scenarios where it was fetching data from SAP ERP and few other places, some of that is actually being routed via Azure services. So let's say there's an Azure service which is reading the data via real-time streaming into the Azure Fabric, and then from there we are querying that information and bringing it within the Copilot agent. So I think there are a lot of power that you have within the Microsoft ecosystem, across Copilot and across the Azure stack. And if you want to build something that is truly enterprise grade, of course, you can do a lot with the help of Copilot and Copilot Studio, and then bring in Azure services wherever required to sort of add value to the use cases that you're trying to build. So I think that's almost, we are through with most of the questions here. And I'm hoping that our team has also got a lot of feedback. Oh, the last question that we'll take is, will you be sending those 100 plus prompts and the other books? Yes, absolutely. We will be sending all the information that you have seen after the session. Even the recording of the session will be made available on our website. So yeah, and at the same time, please go and fill the feedback form that has been pasted here. I'll just put a thumbs up on it so that you all can see it as well. We will be giving priority to each and everyone who fills the feedback form. We want to collect, all of that from you, and then yeah, we will be sharing all the information that we have presented here today. So I think with that, we can, close the curtains on this particular webinar, but rest assured that, we will be meeting again. And there is so much happening in this field. There's so much new information that gets launched almost every week. And we at Saxon are at the forefront of building these AI agents and, enterprise agents for you on Copilot and as well as on Copilot Chat. So we look forward to having you again in our next session. And Ram, thank you so much for all the valuable insights that you have provided to us today. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us. I know you are busy with your travel and customer meetings, so really, really appreciate that a lot. And really look forward to collaborating with you again on our next set of webinars.
Absolutely looking forward to it. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Ram. And thanks everyone for joining. Have a great rest of the day and go try Copilot immediately if you haven't tried it already. And do let your IT teams know that you can get started with the Copilot free chat today itself at absolutely no cost. So thank you once again and wish you all the best.